Okay, now we're going to talk about the area of a sector. The area of a sector would look like this. If you look at a circle and you have an angle that opens up, then this area here that I'm coloring in red would be a sector. It's basically, if you look at it as like a slice of pie. So just like we find the area of a rectangle or the area of a triangle, there's a formula. So this formula is the area of a sector is 1/2 r squared times the angle. R is the length of your radius, and theta is your angle. And for this formula, again, your angle has to be in radians for this to work. And your area is going to be in the same units as your radius but squared. So if your radius is in inches, your area is going to be inches squared. So in the first example, it says find the area of a sector that has a central angle of 7 pi over 9 radians. So they're giving it to us in radians. We don't have to change it from degrees to radians. And the circle has a radius of 14 meters. So that means my area is going to end up being meters squared. Okay, so I'm going to identify that the length of my radius is 14 meters. My angle is already set up in radians, so that's 7 pi over 9. And so I need to put this in my formula. So I have 1/2 radians or radius squared, so that's 14 squared, times 7 pi over 9. Now notice this question specifically says round the answer to 1 decimal place. So we're going to give an approximate answer in this case. Now, when you're asked to give an approximate answer, make sure you don't round each step. Make sure you put it all in your calculator at once. And that way, if you round intermediate steps, then by the time you get to the end, you're going to have rounded so much it's going to throw off your answer. So make sure you don't round until the very end. You should only have to round once. So put it all in your calculator at once. Put 1/2 in, so this is how you should put it in on your calculator. 1/2 in parentheses, so the calculator knows that that goes together. Then 14 squared, and then 7 times pi divided by 9. That is how you should put it in your calculator all at once. When you do that, you're going to get 239.5 because it's telling us to round to 1 decimal place, so that would be 0.5. And since our radius was in meters, our area is going to be meters squared. So this should be our final answer. Now in the second example, to find the area of a sector, it gives us 3 circles that are tangent to each other, and they give us the radii. So we have the radius is 3, 6, and 9, asking us to find that shaded pink area. To find the area of a sector, we have to take 1/2 times the radius squared and then multiply it by the angle in radians. However, it doesn't give us what that angle is in here. It's kind of small. Let me see if I can make this bigger. If I blow it up. This angle right here is not given to us so that we can find the area of the sector, but we have enough information to figure it out. That to me looks like it's a right angle, which means a 90-degree angle. And the only way that we can verify it is by using Pythagorean Theorem, because Pythagorean Theorem only works with right triangles. That's a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So we can see if that works here, and if it does, then we'll verify that that angle is a right angle or a 90-degree angle. So if I look at this as a triangle, to verify if that's a right angle, we would have one leg would have to be 12 because I've got this radius here, which is 9, plus this radius here, which is 3. So I would have to have that side A was 12. Then side B would have to be 9 because you have the radius of 3 plus the radius of 6 would give you a length of 9. And then same thing here, this has to be 6 because it's a radius of 6 plus this, which would be 9, so this would have to be 15. So we would verify it by checking to see if 12 squared plus 9 squared is equal to 15 squared. So 12 squared is 144, 9 squared is 81, and 15 squared is 225. And if you check, that works. So that angle is definitely a right angle. If I change that into radians, you're going to get that it's pi over 2. So to find the area, I'm going to take 1/2. My radius for that little circle of the shaded area that we're trying to find is 3. So I'm going to take 3 and square it. And then my angle is pi over 2. So I have to multiply that all together. Now in this problem, the author did not tell us how to round. So we'll just go out a couple places. So I'm going to take 1/2 times 9 and multiply it by pi over 2. And that is going to give us an answer of 7.07 if we round to 2 places. It also tells us that our radius is in feet, which means our area should be feet squared. So this is our final answer.